My husband and I had been together for 3 years when I started noticing something was up. We moved in together and got married last year in July after having dated for 2.5 years. At first, it was good. We established a good routine and divided up household chores in a way that we felt was fair. Everything was perfect, so we got eloped and started planning a big party to celebrate our marriage. We weren't really big fans of having a traditional wedding, we just wanted to get married and celebrate later. Things started going downhill in August. My husband mentioned there was a new girl at work and started telling me about a conversation they had that sounded sexually explicit. I'm not the jealous type at all, but I did ask why he felt it was appropriate to talk to another woman like that, and all he said was, "She seems like she'd be a good friend." First red flag. Then in October, he gets hurt at work and is off for a week. During that week, he began growing distant and impatient with me. The little annoying things I did that never bothered him before turned into huge arguments. He didn't like me touching him all of a sudden and asked that we refrain from having sex. I thought it was all my fault, like I was too much for him, so I respected his wishes and tried to be better. During that same week, I found bobby pins in our bed. I thought it was weird considering I rarely use bobby pins, but I did own some, so I didn't think it was from someone else. I just figured they got misplaced somehow. When I mentioned to my husband that I found bobby pins, he immediately got defensive, insisting they're mine and telling me not to read into it too much. November was when shit hit the fan. I was finding hair ties in his truck, long curly hairs in the bed, my shampoo and conditioner were being used up faster. I found earrings in his truck that he claimed were his sister's, and his clothes started smelling like Marc Jacobs' Daisy perfume, an iconic scent that I recognized immediately but I don't own. On Thanksgiving, he got into an argument with my dad, which was out of character for him because he was always so calm. But ever since October, he had been seeming so stressed. My husband asked me whose side I was on, and I said my dad, since my husband was the one being disrespectful and starting the arguments. My husband went on to say a bunch of nasty things about my family, and when we got home that night, he dropped me off and then stayed at his brother's house. When he came back the next day, I asked him if he was cheating, and he swore he wasn't. I told him about all the stuff I had found, and he said he had no clue why I'd think he's cheating and that it's all a weird coincidence because he's been spending more time with his sister. I believed him and moved on. A week after Thanksgiving, we were going to his friend's birthday party, and as we went to park, a cat ran in front of the truck, so he slammed on the brakes. My purse spilled all onto the floor, and while cleaning it up, I found a black lipstick. I don't wear black lipstick, and neither does anyone in his family. I held on to it, we partied, then on the drive home I went off. I threw the lipstick at him and started asking who she is. He started yelling and calling me crazy, but I wasn't having it. We got home and I packed my bags and broke it off. He sobbed and told me that it was his coworker and that he's so sorry and that he regrets it. Since that day, I filed for divorce and moved back home. He's been begging for me back by calling me crying at night and leaving presents at my door or on my car while I'm at work. I feel kind of bad rejecting his advances. Maybe time away from me made him realize what he's lost, but I also feel like if he loved me, he would have never cheated. He's been reaching out and asking to just have a talk, but IDK if it's a good idea. Does anyone have experience in a situation like this? What did you do?